Hello, my name is Carol, and I'm going to talk about teaching abroad. And so, just to get a pulse of the room for myself, how many folks in here are interested in teaching abroad? Okay, a handful. So, some things that you may want to know is that regarding teaching abroad, the greatest demand is for English language instructors. So there are other possibilities that you could explore, including business, health, math, and science, but primarily for teaching abroad, they're looking for English language instructors. To get a job teaching abroad, you rarely need language proficiency in the particular country that you're interested in teaching in. And something that is usually probably helpful is if you have previous teaching experience, but it's often not required. Some programs, depending on the country, will also want you to have a bachelor's degree, but some may not, depending on the program. And so really depends on where you want to teach and why you want to teach and what you might need. So why teach abroad? So you want to teach abroad because it is a popular option for those who may be interested in a cultural immersion experience. So if you want to live in another country and work in another country, this is an option. It's an opportunity for you to learn more about international education and teaching across culture. So if you're interested in working or doing international education work, it's a really good opportunity for you to be involved in schools and kind of provide service that way. And it's also great for teaching across cultures, so you can learn how education systems work in other countries. It's also an opportunity for you to live and travel abroad. So if you're interested in particular regions, going there, being able to explore. And it could be a transformative and personally and professionally meaningful experience for you. So if you're thinking about teaching abroad, what you want to do is you want to start researching and assessing early, like looking for different programs really early on, because this will provide you with more opportunities to find the program that would be the best match for you. And so where do you want to teach abroad? That is the first question that you should be answering when you're making this decision. So different teaching opportunities have different requirements depending on the country that you are wanting to go to, and different countries have different requirements. So those are some things that you may want to know. You will probably need a work visa. You need a work visa of some sort, or a visa of some sort, but you will probably need a work visa from that particular country. And some countries have stricter requirements when it comes to teaching abroad, while others have less. So you may want to think about which country you're looking for. So when you are researching, you figure out, okay, I'm interested in certain countries. You also want to research the culture, the climate, and the political atmosphere of each country that you're interested in, and decide if it is somewhere that you want to be. And something that could help you research this is utilizing our Going Global City Guides. Amanda will talk a little bit more about that later on in the presentation. But there are also a couple other resources that I will recommend later. There are a few short-term possibilities that are available, but most of the possibilities or most of the teaching programs are usually require you have a bachelor's degree and usually are half-year to two-year commitment. So depending on the program again. Okay, so something else for you to think about is you may ask the question of like, do you need a teaching certificate? And so again, this is going to depend on where you want to teach. You may or may not need it, and depends on what program you decide to utilize in order to teach abroad. So you want to do your research and find the right certificate for where and whom you want to teach. And so there are several different certificates that you can get for teaching. So for example, the Teaching English as a Foreign Language, this is usually for individuals of all experience levels who plan to teach abroad in countries where English is not a first language. So these are countries such as maybe like Korea, China, or Brazil. So that is the more popular teaching certificate to get. It's usually more applicable across many countries. Teaching English as a second language is usually for individuals who plan to teach in a country where English is a first language. So usually in English-speaking countries where you're trying to teach English to second language learners. And then teaching English to speakers of other languages. This is also very similar to the teaching English as a foreign language, but depending on the country, you may want this certificate. And so this is for individuals who are interested in teaching English and non-English and speaking. Yeah. Okay. And it's often used for teaching, for domestic teaching within English-speaking countries, but could be applicable internationally as well. And then the CELTA is a specific brand of the TEFL, sponsored by the Cambridge University, and is designed for teaching adults. If you want to teach kids, then you want to go with the first one. And if you're interested in teaching adults, usually the CELTA is a little bit more specific. But do your research to find the right certificate for where and whom you want to teach. That's the basis of it. And one more point is that you want to choose a certificate program or a course that is well recognized by the country or institution in which you want to teach at. So here are sample lists of options of different programs that you can utilize or you can apply for or look into. The Fulbright program, which is the English Teaching Assistant Program, is one option. You have the Japanese or the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program, the JET program. They come to campus a lot, and so if you're interested in that program, you can look into that one. And then there are a variety of different programs for different countries listed here. And some of these are listed on the EAP site as well. And then you can also teach at international schools and programs like English First, which are in various countries. But if you use goabroad.com and teachaway.com, you can find more information, and you can also find job boards for different programs and different teaching opportunities. So what would make you a great fit for teaching? So if you're thinking about teaching, make sure that you have a variety of, or employers may be looking for students or graduates who have various extracurricular activities. They want to see that you've been involved, know how to communicate cross-culturally. You want to be able to show your ability to be adaptable, embrace difference. And then you also want to have a good sense of humor and sense of adventure, that you are willing and able to travel abroad and adapt. And then if you're interested in doing this, again, researching many organizations and opportunities early so that you can find the right fit for you. So instead of hearing me talk, because I talk really fast, I'm going to turn it over to Lily, who is currently actually teaching abroad in Madrid, and she has some advice for you all. And so this is her information if you wanted to learn more. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up her video so you can all hear from her.
Hi, my name's Lily Erickson. I graduated from UCSB in 2018 with a degree in psychology and communication, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with you all today about my experience teaching English abroad in Spain. So I decided to do the current program that I'm doing right now because I first studied abroad in Sydney, Australia, and I absolutely loved it. I love being able to travel to New Zealand, Southeast Asia, experience a new culture, step out of my comfort zone, and I could not wait to go abroad again. So, when my senior year at UCSB came around, I started looking into options about how to go abroad after graduating and preferably get paid because there are a lot of programs that actually cost money if you want to go abroad. So, I was actually interning as a global intern for the EAP program at UCSB, which I'd highly recommend, by the way, if any of you have already gone abroad. And I was chatting with Adrian, who had done my program in Spain for 3 years and loved it. And so she gave me the idea to sign up. I decided to sign up for Spanish 1 in the fall of 2017. And since my program doesn't require any sorts of TEFL certificates or anything along those lines, all I had was 3/4 of Spanish, and then I kind of just jetted off to Spain and hoped for the best. Um, so far, my experience in Madrid has been absolutely amazing. I've been here about 6 months and I have 3.5 months left, and I definitely don't want it to end. There are a lot of highs and also some lows. I think my frustrations have mostly been related to the government in Spain because it's very disorganized and bureaucratic. And with my program, it's called Auxiliares de Conversación. They don't give you a lot of help when you're applying for your visa and when you come to Spain. It's just straight through the government, and the whole application's in Spanish. So that was a little tricky to figure out, but luckily I had some friends who were doing a similar program called CIEE. And with that program, they kind of hold your hand a little bit and help you with the visa application and give you some tips for when you come to Madrid, help you make some friends, kind of like studying abroad. So, if you're interested in doing my program, which by the way is totally free of cost except for the application fee, the online application opens in the fall, and you can start filling out your online application before it's due in April. And then you get placed in about May or June, and then you come to Spain and your program starts in late September. So I mentioned how the government is a little bureaucratic and disorganized and slow, but overall, I love this program because my kids make it so worth it. I love showing up to my job every day and seeing all their smiling faces. I'm at a secondary school. It's a bilingual high school, and so most of my students are about 12 to 16 years old, and they're so crazy, but they're a lot of fun and make everything worth it. I also obviously love living in Europe and being able to travel all the time, take weekend trips because my program is only 4 days a week, which is really awesome. I have 3-day weekends every weekend. It's only 16 hours a week. So every weekend I can travel, and honestly, so incredible. Madrid itself is an amazing city. I would definitely recommend coming to Madrid if you decide to do this program. There's so many young people, cafes, nightlife, parks, museums. There's always something to do and you can never be bored. I moved to Spain as part of a gap year, so to speak, to give myself time to figure out what I wanted to do after college rather than jumping straight into a 9 to 5. And over these past 6 months, I've had time to think about what I want to do with my life, and I've decided to apply for jobs in study abroad programs at universities so I can help other students go abroad and have similar experiences to those that I've had. Advice for those of you who want to go abroad: honestly, if you're even slightly considering it, just do it. 100% worth it. I know it's scary at first, but as soon as you get here and settle in, you'll think to yourself, oh, I'm so glad I did this. If you want any more information about my program, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love talking about my experience and answering any questions you might have. I also have a travel blog and an Instagram, Traveler There Is No Road. So if you want to give me a follow and check out what I'm up to over here, that would be awesome. So that's about it. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about my program. I hope it was useful, and I'll hopefully talk to some of you soon. Thanks.
Okay, so now let's hear from Milan.
Hi everyone, my name is Milan. I work here at Career Services as a career peer, and I have not taught abroad yet, but I'm planning to. So I was hoping to talk to you all a little bit about the application process and what it's been like applying to jobs or a single job abroad. But a little bit about me: I'm a 4th year. I'm going to be graduating this spring with my degree in sociology, and I'm pursuing and finishing up my minor in TESOL, which is teaching English as a second language, which is really fitting because it's exactly what I want to do, and that's in the linguistics department. So the program that I applied for is called Medeas, and it is also in Spain. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I want to teach abroad, what research steps I took to apply, and then my decision, or like what's going on right now. So while I was here at UCSB, I never got the chance to study abroad. I always really had a strong interest in going abroad, but something that was really important to me was making money, and I knew that I couldn't do that if I was abroad. So the jobs that I have here at UCSB, like working here at Career, have been really important to me, so I didn't quite want to let that go yet. And then I know that in teaching abroad, people have the opportunity to travel, to push themselves out of their comfort zones. I'm really big about making things hard for myself so I can grow. So I figure that moving to a foreign country is the best thing that I can do. And then the research steps that I took to apply for the job that I've applied for. So if you haven't done any research yet, you can probably guess that there's a ton of information out there because it's literally like the whole world. Like there's so much information, so it can be a bit overwhelming. So something that was helpful for me was to really reflect and think about what I wanted from my experience if I were to go abroad, and to be really honest about that. And something that I really wanted was to improve my Spanish because it is very poor. Living in Europe sounds kind of cool to do after college. And I visited Spain before once. This is me very excited in front of La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. And I really enjoyed it. So, I mean, I figured it couldn't hurt to go move to Spain after graduation. Something else that was really helpful for me to kind of like provide some solace was this book that we actually have in the CRR here. You can see like this little purple book, but you could come into the library and check out that book, not take it away with you, but you're welcome to read it here. And it's called Teaching English Abroad. So it's very straightforward, but there's a ton of information about different countries, like I don't know, like all of them, but like a lot of them, what it's like to teach there and different programs that are available in each country. So that helps to give like a really good scope of what's out there and what opportunities are available. And then another thing that I found very helpful were different online forums and groups. This is actually how I found the program that I applied for. I wouldn't have heard of it otherwise. I just joined a Facebook group called Teaching English in Spain and saw what people were talking about there, and that's how I found my program. So my decision and what's going on now is that I've applied to this program called Medias, and the reason why I chose them was because I heard a lot of positive reviews about them. I had heard a lot about the program that Lily is doing, the one that from the video we just watched, and heard a lot of things about their organization, like Lily said, and I thought I wasn't really ready for that. I really want someone to hold my hand while I'm alone, while I would be alone in a foreign country. So I heard a lot of positive things about Medias, and they were really supportive while I was applying and asking questions and everything. So I chose them. So yeah, I have applied and I interviewed twice, and I'm kind of offered a job. Right now I'm just waiting on job. It's basically based on job availability. So if there's a school that matches my preferences, they're really big on preferences. Like if you want to only teach kindergarteners in Barcelona, they will only give that to you if it's available. And if there's nothing else available, then they don't give you a job. So they're really good about preferences. So being open is really helpful, at least for this program specifically. But I'm still waiting on getting my official placement. So it's unofficial, but I'm almost going. But yeah, some advice that I have for all of you if you're interested in applying. I think it's really important to be honest about what you want from your experience, whether you're like for sure only want to teach children, or for sure only want to teach high schoolers, or you want to improve your language, or you want to learn a new language. If you want to make a lot of money, or if you don't really care about money, it's important to be honest with those things, and whatever you come up with and reflect about, that will serve as a really good guide as to figuring out what's going on and where you want to go, because there's so much available. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Carol, I'll hop back in. Thank you.